I don't care whether you're building a garden bed, a fence, a landscaping feature, a retaining wall, or patio furniture. I'm convinced that humans are happier building things than buying them or paying someone else to do it. Making something tangible gives us agency, visible progress, useful struggle, and a concrete result that we can walk past every day and remember, hey, yeah, I did that. Research suggests that DIY projects, crafts, gardening, and similar activities are all associated with better subjective well-being, improved mood, and benefits tied to flow, mastery, self-efficacy, and meaningful effort. You don't need to become a professional handyman or a general contractor, and it's okay if you aren't a master on your first or even your fifth attempt. In my experience, it is often not only less expensive, but also far more rewarding to figure out how to build something for yourself, even when you account for some amount of wasted materials and frustration for screw-ups and redos. Every project is an opportunity to expand your competence and skill. You can recognize your comfort zone, any physical or monetary risks associated with the endeavor, and the limitations of your skill set and experience, and gradually push through those boundaries outward through constructive action. For example, I still engage an electrician for almost all electrical work because I'm simply not confident in my ability to handle anything in that domain beyond maybe switching out a decorative outlet cover. But a few years ago, I'd also hire a professional for anything involving plumbing or requiring power tools, and now I do almost all of that work myself. You watch tutorial videos on YouTube, you give yourself some grace to make mistakes or start over, and you accept that frustration and imperfection is often part of the process. But in the end, you create something that is truly yours. And your success with one task will build your confidence to handle all sorts of additional tasks going forward. You are capable. Building things is satisfying because it restores the connection between effort and reality. If you watch my other channel, Legal Consideration, you know that I love being a lawyer and a business advisor, and I truly find the work rewarding. But most of it, like most office work, is dominated by abstractions and intangible deliverables. Email, meetings, slide decks, spreadsheets, phone calls, and other electronic tasks. Since I genuinely respect and care about my clients, and since my work and deliverables directly impact their business, and since I'm the owner of my firm, this is all okay. But back when I was in corporate America, I remember how demoralizing it was when I'd work a full day with nothing tangible to show for the effort, and no real sense that I made any sort of meaningful difference in anything or for anyone, or that I couldn't be replaced almost seamlessly and someone else could do the same document shuffling adequately enough. Building things restores the connection between effort and reality. It either works or it doesn't. Either it fulfills its intended purpose, even if it's just decorative like a landscaping feature, or it doesn't. Either it withstands the test of time and use and the elements, or it doesn't. More importantly, when you build something, even imperfectly, the day leaves a mark. You can visibly see that the world, or at least your backyard, is slightly but demonstrably different and improved because you were there and because you tried. There is a finished object in the real world that is a testament to your efficacy, physical engagement, competence, and effort. Building things yourself is also a small victory against overconsumption. We live in a culture that trains us to passively consume finished products. If you're terminally online, you're also passively consuming finished opinions, finished aesthetics, and finished identities. No one is ever happier sacrificing their agency and succumbing to this. We all know that. If you're getting sucked into passive consumption, online or in real life or both, building something interrupts the cycle of passivity and puts you back in the role of being an active doer and maker. Becoming handy over the past few years in particular has changed me for the better. I'm more patient and persistent and able to solve problems. At this point, for almost anything relating to home or garden, I will always make a good faith effort to at least try to resolve it myself. And only then, if I'm truly making things worse or if the project requires more sets of hands than I have available to help, then I'll hire a professional. But I want to be the kind of person who can look at a problem in the physical world and say, let me see what I can do. I also want to be the kind of person who knows when to suck it up and hire the electrician or the structural engineer and not wind up berating myself because I did something that was just so profoundly stupid and reckless that I literally dropped to my knees to thank my Lord and God that I walked away with just some torn clothes and a little bit of blood and nothing worse, which, yes, has happened.
Congratulations on the Most Reckless Dumbass Award.
Thank you.
I don't need to do everything myself. It is okay to ask for help. The point is, let's try to do more than we used to be willing or able to do and feel the sense of pride and accomplishment that comes from that, even if it's just installing a curtain rod or a shelf. Heck, even if it's just assembling some IKEA furniture. We can do this, even if it's done imperfectly to start. Okay, if you made it to the end of this video, you're awesome. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Liking and subscribing really helps this new channel, and it also helps me determine what types of content you might find helpful or interesting. If you're a business owner, creative professional, lawyer, entrepreneur, or in corporate, check out my other YouTube channel, Legal Consideration, or visit legalconsideration.com to accelerate your own learning on all things law, business, and finance. You can also buy my newest fiction novel, Where Ice Meets Sky, available on Amazon, Walmart, Barnes & Noble, and select bookstores. It's an Odyssey-inspired Arctic survival and adventure story about courage, resilience, and leadership amidst impossible odds for a young adult audience, but with adult crossover appeal. Even if you don't do any of those things, I still appreciate you for tuning into this episode. Until our next project, stay heavy and stay handy.